What's going on, team? Welcome to it. You guys know where you're at. Of course, live trading with Benzinga. I said, you know what? The hell with the intro today. We're going straight into the action. Let's get right to the stock market. Let's take a look at what's going on in the market right now. Of course, I still got some swing trades on. I still have Apple on right now. I'm going to be watching today to see if we go down. We are coming down in the pre-market, of course. Yesterday, we were moving back to 190. Got to keep watch to 186. Anything towards 186, I'll get out. I'm not going to let it come back to my break-even price, but I'm looking for the expansion move. We'll see if we get it. Intel's another one that I have. Going to hold to 36. Don't want that to break 36 today. If that does break, I'll get out of that swing trade. And then I have AAL. This is where I'm probably getting hit the most this morning, right? It's down to 1420s. I'm looking to maybe add at 14 and then looking to hold right beneath that. We'll see what happens. Of course, I've been building up a position in the airlines. I think the airlines overall are going to be able to get maybe through this energy lift. And then when oil, if it takes any downturn, that's when I expect to see these stocks start to take their next uplift. So we'll see what happens there. I'm trying to slowly time my position into AAL. We'll keep a watch on it. Today, we got mentions from Southwest Airlines that definitely hit the airline industry. And also yesterday, I think there was UAL that had some issues where they had to stop the flights for a little bit. So UAL, interesting to kind of keep an eye out on these airlines. We'll see what happens. Leisure taking a hit yesterday. I definitely saw that action in the market. Growth names really hot right now. Keep your eyes on names like Unity. Have you guys heard somebody talking about Roku lately here, right? I think I've been mentioning Roku as a daily setup. Look at that move that we got this morning on Roku. Big move. Look, I even have the line drawn from when we were looking at it here on Trade the Pool. So that just goes to show you guys that we've been keeping our eyes on this move. I really love the setup. Now it's taken off. We need a little bit of pullback today, but I'm looking for maybe having an inside day tomorrow on Roku, and then looking for a continuation above 85. Today, I'd leave it alone.
Roku in the news today because they're cutting the workforce by 10% and then raise their third quarter guide.
Nice. Perfect to cover that. I appreciate you, Ryan, like always. I'm going to go ahead and go to your charts now. We can take a look at what you're looking at, my friend, and let us know. What are you seeing in the markets today?
All right. Well, first things first, we're going to start off with the SPY. We're continuing our downward move. The move down is happening quite slowly in the index. A lot of the actual stocks themselves within the market feel weaker and feel like this should be going a little bit faster. But our Magnificent Seven doing a really good job holding us up. It's only a matter of time before those crack and we come back in. At least I believe. We'll see if this turns into another rally on the back of AI. Spots that I'm looking for, it's 448 is the current SPY price. I'm looking for a 446.50 test and then 444 beneath that. We'll see if we get to either of those here today. Still expecting things to be low volume for the rest of this week as people are finishing up their summers. I think school starts next week for some New York areas. The other thing that's of note that I actually was not aware of until my happy hour show yesterday, there's a chip conference in Asia that starts today. I believe it's called Semicon. It's about a whole bunch of semiconductor companies. There's going to be a lot of really big speakers there. NVIDIA, Lam Research, Micron, a lot of the big chip companies. So it would be important to watch. It's going to be important to watch for headlines. I know it's in Asia, so the time difference is pretty significant. But it might be one of those things where we get a headline and it ends up moving a stock or a basket of stocks. So something to keep in mind. I look forward to getting an update a little bit later here today. We'll see if we end up getting that.
Now, awesome mention there, Ryan. I honestly didn't know that one. So that's always what it's all about, right? Guys, you guys out there, bring it too, right? You're seeing Ryan bring some value for us. Smash the like for that. And you guys in the chat, you guys can always help out each other. Talk about catalysts that you guys see in the market. Yeah. What are you guys seeing moving? That's how we help each other get to success. Let's do that. Let's be a supporting community and keep helping each other out. Hit the thumbs up for that. That definitely makes me excited. Let's keep going to it. What are you seeing there, Ryan?
Well, I also just threw the link for this expo. It is Semicon Taiwan 2023. It starts today. It's a 2-day event. It's in Taipei. So we'll see if we get any headlines out of that. Really impressive exhibitors list. So go ahead and check that out if you want to do some more due diligence. As far as some of the stocks here today, we talked a little bit about Roku. There's no shortage of smaller stocks for us to try and play today. First one here is going to be Pally. We've played this one before. This is Palisades Bio. I believe there was a piece of news here. Palisade Bio transforms GI-focused pipeline through exclusive worldwide licensing agreement with Giant Pharma for multiple oral drug candidates targeting inflammatory bowel disease. IBD, not good. Looks like they have some good news here. The market is rewarding this. This was a penny stock yesterday, just under 70 cents. Today, we're above $1. Let's see if we can actually hold this VWAP and hold this $1 level, maybe get another move towards the top. We'll see on that. Next is going to be SST. Excuse me there. I was trying to think and read at the same time. That never goes well. SST, this is System 1. We did pop as high as $3, pulled all the way back into a low 2 handle. It's doing a really good job holding 220. VWAP is providing resistance above. We'll see. For me, a long trade setup would be a burst of that VWAP on expanding volume. That would be a buy signal for today. So we'll see if we end up getting that here. As far as news goes on SST, System 1 confirms receipt of indication of interest for total security from Just Develop It. Non-binding indication of interest. So it looks like there's some interest in one of the products. That's causing SST to pop here today. We'll see how well this holds up here today. Some of these catalysts, I'm a little bit skeptical of them. Stock coming back in. We'll see if we end up having this hold up. There are a couple here on the list. Derm, this is another one. This popped as high as 360 and really came back in, holding 255 right there at the VWAP. This is Journey Medical Corporation. They entered into an exclusive licensing agreement with Maruho for one of their Qbrexza in South Korea and other Asian nations. So looks like they're going to enter into a licensing agreement, receive $19 million upfront, and is eligible for payments of up to $45 million if they meet certain milestones. So that's what's causing this pop here today. We'll see if that can actually get some more traction. NBSE, this is a new base therapeutics. Wasn't one of you folks on this? Was that Tuna? Tuna, hope you're healing well, by the way. Hope you're feeling better. Looks like you can start running pretty soon again. That's awesome. No, this was not one on your list. I could have sworn I saw somebody in the chat mention this one. Anyway, NBSC, this same type of deal here. We're really actually breaking away from the VWAP to the downside here. So I'd like to see some more support. I'd like to see this hold up here, maybe 135, 130. We'll see if we end up holding up and then giving a long side opportunity. So far, seems really weak. Next here is going to be TRVN, and this is another one that I think might have a day here today. We are leaking away from the VWAP here. So same deal. We really want to see it catch some support and then make a move back up towards the VWAP. If we can get that on expanding volume, that's really going to be a good sign and a good buy trigger. This is Vdovina. I don't know if they had any news here. They did. They announced receipt of a $15 million non-dilutive tranche and provides a general business update. Looks like the business update was proof of preliminary data from 2 proof of concept studies evaluating S1 PR mechanism of action and CNS target engagement. I forgot what. This is neuropathic pain. Okay, so Vdovina has some good data here, business update, and we'll see if this can actually catch. The initial move here was pretty decent. We'll see if they can get another move going here in a little bit. Next is going to be ZFox. Now I did see, let's see if this, what happened to my chart here? Let me see if I can go back to my other chart here. We'll take a look at ZFox. Let's go to the intraday chart here. So ZFox had earnings this morning. Now this was on Tuna's list, right? This one, yes, ZFox, TRVN also on Tuna's list. CRBU, we'll take a look. That's a penny stock. NEPT also moving here today. Real quick, Carmen, by the way, for TRVN, sure hope, as that's one I own and would be happy to sell. Okay, so you're long TRVN from before. Nice little pop here today. Let us know if you close that out or if you get a second run here, Carmen, to break that upside spot. 128, your high print. Anyway, with ZFox here, ZeroFox shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q2 FY24 results and provided above consensus Q3 guidance. So ZFox popping here. We'll see if this ends up moving. Let me see if I can. There we go. We got this chart back. This is my intraday chart with just the VWAP on it. Currently holding this 115 level, but really want to see this move through 120. That lines up nicely with the VWAP as well. NXGN, looks like this is actually a buyout, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there's necessarily going to be a trade here. Yeah, this is a buyout at 23.95. It's currently at 23.54. I did notice that ICCT was on this list here, so we did have a PR here this morning. Excuse me. iCore Connect announces a new version of its iCore Exchange encrypted HIPAA email and referral network. Okay, apparently that's enough to pop the stock considerably here. Man, I don't know what is going on with my charts. I will try and refresh this real quick, but ICCT, we've seen this one move before. We've seen it behave pretty wild. Yesterday, we really sold off. We've got about half of that back in the pre-market. To me, it'll be interesting to see if we can recoup the rest of this. I'd be interested in this, or interested at least in watching this to see how it performs if we break through 8 to the upside here. So see if we can get that done. LQR on the list here again. We talked about this yesterday. This actually gave us a nice little trade in the morning. It actually gave a couple of trades if you traded off this 127 level. Ended up breaking down in the afternoon. Now today we're pretty much recovering some of that. Let's see if we can move back through that 127 level. That would really determine whether or not we're going to be all right here today. Actually, that's 130, excuse me, on that level. 130, not 127. That's my VWAP level. So, okay. That's about it. I don't think there was really anything else. I know cannabis, some of the cannabis names, still a little bit of a gap here this morning, but really nothing terribly notable. Let's see if you folks have anything else. Chip, I saw that on this morning. Tom Brady joining with Delta Airlines should help the planes run better routes. I see what you did there. That was actually a fairly interesting interview. It didn't really seem like Tom scripted or had much of that planned. He just kind of went off the cuff. That's my favorite Brady, by the way, is the off the cuff Brady. He's going to join the leadership team there and see if he can, the way the CEO sold it is that they want Delta they're on top now and they want them to stay on top. So who better to bring in than Tom Brady? We'll see if that ends up doing anything for the business. I know Mitch is long the airlines. Airlines are a real tough trade. We did get oil to pop yesterday. It's really started to come back in. So if that continues, maybe that'll be good for the airlines. But this was kind of a fun interview here this morning. I enjoyed that. And it's no shortage of the jokes here. Delta should have a good third quarter back. I see what you did there. Okay. Smoke Tuna GTLB could have some trades. This is, of course, GitLab. We do use this here at Benzinga, by the way. Not my favorite platform. Has actually been a pretty decent stock. You can see really get some nice moves here. This floating island, pretty good here, right? We pushed up, we came all the way back in. We didn't close the gap, but we kind of held it. And now we're looking to break here. Smoke Tuna, I agree. I think if we really break above 53.50 to 54.50, really kind of break this side, this could really get going. You guys are saying that Pally is going. Let's take a look here at Pally. Look intraday. Pally is going, broke that high. So remember what we said here about Pally, needed it to move through the VWAP on volume. Guess what happened? I know it's still the pre-market, but it moved through the VWAP on volume and really kind of punched up there. God, something is going on with it. I'll get the developers to look at what's going on with my platform here. Hope Brady does better in Dow versus the celebs behind Wheels Up SPAC. That was near bankruptcy. Yeah. We hope so too. Didn't Delta help finance one of those? I feel like there was Delta and Wheels Up, or it was either that or NetJets. Pretty sure it was Wheels Up. They gave him some money for something. I would have to go back and look for that news post, but I'm pretty sure that was Delta. But yeah, good point. I think Crow. I think Brady's probably makes a better decision going with Delta than something like the Wheels Up spec, but he doesn't. How long do you think it's been since Tom Brady flew commercial? Can't get him through an airport. He wouldn't be able to get 10 feet without getting stopped. Okay. Smoke Tuna RVLP. This one actually sounds familiar. I know we've taken a look at this one recently. I haven't traded it though. This is just a 12-cent stock. I think CRBU is around the same. Nope. I'm totally mixing it up. You had another one on there that was a cheap penny stock. Let me go see if I can find it. This is totally bothering me. I don't think I've got all my wits about me here this morning. Was it Nept? No, Nept is, yeah, it was Nept. It was Nept. This is about the same price here, another penny stock. This did push yesterday. We'll see if this trades up again here. I'm going to completely avoid this. Now, CRBU, on the other hand, this looks a little bit more interesting. Decent day yesterday. Let's see what happens when this opens. But if we can take out yesterday's intraday high at 630, that would really be great on CRBU. In fact, you know what I'm going to do, guys? Now that Mitch is back, Mitch, save me, man. I have in all
Always,
types
man.
of trouble.
I
All
can hear
types
you,
of trouble
baby. I
here
can
today.
hear you. I can hear you. No worries. What's going on, man? Just having a little issues.
Yeah, I'm having
Technology
issues.
life.
You know it.
I know
You
how
know
it
it.
is,
So I want
man.
to
No
see
worries.
if
What were you
beta
looking
works
at?
any better.
What were you looking at?
Oh, my
CR,
stuff is reset. Oh, I was looking at
CRBU?
CRB. Yeah.
Let's see if it's available here. Ooh, it is, team. It
You know
is.
what?
Let's
I'm
take a
actually
look.
going to preload that and trade the pool. That's a good call.
Yeah, man.
CRBU.
Yeah, that's one thing I would
Let's
tell
see
you
what
to
happens
start
when it
looking at.
opens. I need to see an opening print on this one.
So one thing that I would tell you to start looking into, Ryan, and just I always like to give tips, right? How we can better use our system, our tools, right? So for me on CRBU, if I'm looking at this, what are you looking for on price breakout? Like 650 breakout?
Let me pull up the chart. Sorry, I was reviewing it. This
You're
was one
good,
of the
my friend.
stocks that
You're good.
the chat had. Yeah. So yes, 630 breakout. Right, 630
630
would
breakout.
mark
Okay.
yesterday's intraday high.
All right. So what we're going to do is right next to the price, if you hold by the price, you should see a blue line and then you should see a little yellow bell. We can hit that alert so that we can go ahead and set this alert here. So anything greater than 631, it will actually alert me on Trade the Pool so that I could come back to this stock if for any reason I get distracted, right? Because that happens. Let's just be honest. You're going to get distracted. So if you see that little bell by the price, that should get you to click and create an alert. And then you can actually move it if you wanted to just by pulling it up and down. And then you just set it right at 31. Boom. Greater than 31. It'll let me know. And so I'll let you guys know as soon as that hits. This looks actually interesting here, guys. It's 9:28. I'm going to try to hurry up through this, but not a bad looking approach there too, Ryan. So I can't blame you for looking at this stock. One thing I would say for certain is to look to see if the support holds here. And so you can see how we came back to this support right here around the 580s, and we went down towards 584, and we kind of bounced right off of that level. So that's kind of the level that I definitely wouldn't want the stock to break overall. It could come down to that level, but I wouldn't want that to break. That's the support right now. Of course, you've been seeing kind of multiple times where it's kind of getting up and coming back down, trying to get up. I think it might make a move to 640, pull back a little bit to like 625s. I'd be looking for a break towards 650s and then a pullback off the VWAP. That's a move maybe coming back towards like 630s. So that's kind of the levels that I would be looking at. We'll see what happens on CRBU. This is one that we can keep an eye out. And I like that it's available here. You know,
Me too.
I like that I have the ability, if I want to go for the smaller names, I can. And one thing's for certain, you have so much buying power. Be careful there, Ryan.
Oh, I won't go too big. All right, we're open here. Let's see where we go, folks.
Let's
Good
do it.
luck.
Let's do it, team. And I just want to focus first on the kind of swing trades just to protect myself, but also focusing on what's going on in the bank situation. I played KRE yesterday, and man, if I would have played it again in the afternoon, look at this move around 11 when we got out of the market. It came back to 25 and just kept going down all day long on KRE. That was a really good play yesterday. It's still going down right here out the gates here. JPM is one to keep an eye out for me. I'm going to see if that goes green today. I'm not going to trade the bank short today. I want them to do their own thing. I was looking for daily breakdowns. I missed it. NVIDIA trying to push here towards 485. That's one to keep an eye out to see if it can go through 486. Microsoft with one of the leading stocks yesterday. I'm going to look to see what happens to the stock today. If it goes red, I'm going to be careful. Green is okay. Red, I just got to be avoiding it. Green is going to be interesting to see if we can hold like 332 pullbacks and then get back through 334.
First move on Pally was down to the VWAP, and it looks to have bounced a little bit on Pally. So we'll see if that can get rolling here.
All right, let's go to that.
CRBU didn't really do anything right out of the open.
All right, I'll see if I get anything to show up on the scanners here. PALI one that's showing up on the scanners here. And getting some volume here, guys. It's trying to break through the 130s.
TRVN just straight down from the open. A lot of weakness out there. A lot of weakness out there.
You see those cannabis stocks yesterday? Woo-hoo.
Pally up to near highs.
All right, let's look around in the market, guys. If you guys see anything, let us know. I'm looking around to see what's up on the market. And so everything in the red except consumer cyclical and energy. Everything else in the red. What's in the red the most? Healthcare, utilities, and communication services. Technology slightly green now. It's just kind of playing around and flirting with the zero line. But overall, everything in the red. Let's see if things can come back to the green. That's why I pay attention to the open and not overall percentage. Cyclicals are in the green. What's green there, though, specifically? Let's take a look. Auto parts, residential construction. That's interesting because it got hit hard and then had bad housing data. I want to talk a little bit about that housing data with Ryan later. We always like to have, some conversations that we can talk about. That's going to be something we can talk about, the housing and that situation. I can even let you guys know a little bit about me, right? I always like to tell you guys a little bit and fill you guys in a little bit of what I'm looking at, but we'll see what happens in residential construction. It is trying to push up today. NVIDIA going red there really quickly. Now we're getting the skews to go down really quickly. Be careful. I'm seeing some pretty weakness, at least out the gates. SQQQ seems to be an interesting play right now for an 18 break. Yesterday, we were looking for that 18 break. It actually went red and then came back on the day, right at the end of the day. Let's see if we can recover those levels on the hourly and make an attempt towards the 18 high here. It doesn't look too bad there. Now it's 1790s here. I'm going to look for a little slight tick into the 80s, and I might get long here. Dun, 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 dun.
Pally halted at 143.
Looking for a slight tick into like 1788s, and then I can risk off like 1780s here.
ICCT halted. That looks like halt to the downside. CGC still strong after yesterday as that pushes right out of the open on CGC.
I have an order out at 89s to try to get filled on SQQQ. Looking at CGC, my friend. Okay.
Also, Rigetti.
All right.
We talked about this yesterday. Rigetti on a possible breakout from yesterday's intraday high here. Nice first move on Rigetti.
No fill there for the SQQQs, already to the 95, and NVIDIA going lower here. I might have to step up if I want it, but I'm going to stay here at 1790s. I'll step up 1 cent, but that's about it here. I'm trying to get the move, and I'm trying to get filled on pullbacks, not on the rip. So if I do play this, it's for a quick move through the 18s and then just selling it, trying to get myself a little bit of a cushion on the day. Now that we close that candle, I'm going to look for the pullback here to 1788s or 1786. So pulling back down that entry. As it pulls back, I want to get filled here and see if it maybe can come back some of it and I can get on the bid. Pulled back somewhat to the 91s, but didn't get through that 91 there. These look weak there. Trying to get through the 370, 60 spot. All the big boys in the red. The biggest one, the stock that was strong yesterday, Tesla. So you know what? If I can't get this, I'm going to look for Tesla to come back to 254s. So if Tesla can come back to 254, I don't mind a short on Tesla. But whenever I go to Tesla, what do? And I trade it the same way I traded in my other accounts. One share at a time. For me, I have to abide by that.
Share.
One share at a time. Literally one single share at a time. Trust me, it's made me a killing in Tesla if I've done that in the past. And the big thing for me is the spread sometimes opens up on Tesla, and you can get these like kind of fills where if you didn't ladder, you'll get screwed a lot of the times really quickly off of the kind of bid and ask game there and the way that it moves, the volatility. Like here, let's say it's going from 252 all the way 255 all the way down to 252.40s. So like when you're getting that type of candle, you want to be able to try to better your entry by laddering, I think. And that's just for me. It works for me on Tesla. You guys take a look at what laddering and order would look like. And that's just what works for me on Tesla. Q's going lower here. We'll look to see if we get a bounce to VWAP. That's what I'm kind of looking for. And then looking for VWAP rejections today. If we're going to come down here, we'll see what happens. Focusing on the sectors. Still haven't taken a trade here. If you guys see anything moving big, let us know. I'm seeing energy trying to recover here. So energy not looking too bad. Did you guys catch that gush move yesterday? Not a bad move there from 4160 outlook. We went to 4165. It went back to 4240s. That was a pretty nice call there towards the end of the day. Now we're getting gush to come back up here. And I think that, you got to just keep your eye on WTI now. As long as we can stay above 85s, we're looking good, baby. Right now, it's battling 8650s to hold that level. So look to see if we can get towards the 87s today on crude overall and WTI front month. If that can happen, we're looking decent there. Range right now on the day, 85.93 to 87. There's gush. Trying to gush, baby. Gush looks interesting there. It didn't even come back to VWAP, and that's showing strength right now. So it could go through the 4150s here and continue going. There's 4150s showing up. Let's see if Gush takes that next step up through the 4150s. I'd have to look for pullbacks here towards 4120s and 4110s. But we'll see what happens if it does just take off through the 4150 here. All right, let's go back to that other trade there. SQQQs now pulled back there towards 91. Didn't get back below the 90s, but pulling back, has VWAP around 87. That's where I would probably want to join. But we could also look for VWAP fades. Let's see what happens out there in the market. Tesla, what's up with the Tesla Dragon? Ooh, not turning around at all right now.
Not
Tesla. Yet. Gosh, there's the gush through the 4150s.
I'm looking at Tesla, by the way, right here, because I think it does reverse at some point down here. As long as that volume turns to buying volume here, Tesla could bounce.
Gushing, man. Oil looking good there. So I can look at some oil plays here to see if that one's going to start pushing here. Oxy is an interesting play right now because it's pulled back to prior support. There was support yesterday. Now trying to hold the resistance here on 66. Let's see if it goes red to green here on Oxy. Not a bad one. I'm thinking about it right now. Let's see if it gets to 66 here, and then I can hold off the 65, 85s. It might not even get to 66 there. It's already starting to push. NVIDIA going lower there. So Q's looking like they're getting hit here. Let's see. Let's see if it get hit right now. They're lagging a little bit. SQQQs hit 1790s, now coming back up for 1794s. We'll see if that takes off. Oxy already pushing here. Didn't come back to the 66 level for me to jump in there. I had to jump in there at 6608s. I'm looking for a little pullback to 66 here on Oxy, and then looking to see if energy can continue in the green and go higher. It's already pushing pretty well here, so I might have to just jump in if I want to take this. Chevron, XOM already VWAP bounce showing up there. Chevron still looking good for me. That's, of course, a stock that I still have here. Going to keep a watch on it.
Silver Fox Day Trading says, Tesla, I trade it every day. This is a big support level. I agree. I had 252 marked as a support level. So I'm just trying to add around the 252 level. Instead of 100 shares, we're doing 10 shares at a time. Definitely trying to keep the risk limited here today. We'll see if we end up getting a pop here on Tesla and move. Oh, here, let me bring my, let me see.
NVIDIA coming back to VWAP here.
Here's my trade to pool. So you can see we're long 30 shares here. We've been buying it a little bit on the way down into this support level. I want to see if we can actually move back towards the VWAP here. Probably just in order to keep the exposure limited, probably won't add any more to this. We'll just stick with 30, I think, for right now. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Mitch, I'm going to bring you back here.
You got it, my friend.
SQQQ.
You got it. I'm looking to buy some SQQQ here as we're starting to pull back here. And NVIDIA's going to the VWAP here. So I'm going to start taking a shot here. Just want to see a slight tick 89s. There you go. We got some fill there on that pullback. Let's go ahead. I'm starting it here. I got 250 there already for SQQQs. Going to see if the Qs can reject VWAP and come right back down. So that's what I'm looking for there. We'll see what happens if the Qs just take off. I got to be careful. So there's the Qs trying to get strong a little bit. We'll see what happens if it does push through. 377, again, very important level.
A bounce here in the Qs and the NASDAQ would really help the Tesla trade.
I'm looking for rejection of VWAP. So essentially, Ryan and I are going against each other here, and it's okay. It's okay, team. It's okay to do that.
Well, the way I look at this, Mitch, is that one of us should make money for.
At least that's what I hope.
At least one of us should come away with a profit.
Yeah, at least I hope so, right? That's what it's all about there. 88 still looking like a good support there for these SQQQs. So I'm looking to add a little bit more here on my trade and take a little bit more. So 88's offer is the limits out there. Let's see if I get a slight tick down. I'm going to 87 here. I slight ticked it there just to try to get it filled now at 88. All right, now it's coming back there to 90s. There's the 88s. That should get filled. I'm going to try to get filled here.
Good morning, Rustam.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly, right? One of us is going to win. Dave, you're still in CLRB from yesterday, it sounds like, based on that. Looking good here today. We did have that little pop later in the day on CLBR, and it looks like we're kind of making a run up to challenge that high here today. It'll be interesting to see if that moves. Good stuff.
All right, guys, going to look to see if 377s holds here on the 5-minute. If it does get back there to 377.25, that's where you get the power move here. So you're looking for a breakthrough 320.25s and then holding 377 on pullbacks for the Qs for the bullish play. You just got that touch of 377.25. Now you'd want to see it hold 377. So I'm just looking at it the same way, just the opposite way here for the SQQQs. Would want it to hold the 1782s now. We'll see what happens. 8-cent risk here.
Dave saying, no, I'm not in CLRB. I apologize, Dave. That's what happens when you assume, right? You make an ass out of you and me, and that was not my intention. Jan, by the way, pretty much given the entire Tesla play here. So your stop is at the day of low. I think you meant low of day. Ryan, at Tesla, then you can take some out at VWAP and maybe it'll run and run. So if we take a look at the chart here, this is what Jan's talking about. Here's your stop, right? Low a day. If this gets broken now that we're kind of consolidating down here, you just take it off for whatever it is, take the loss. But otherwise, we're hoping we get a bounce back here towards the VWAP. And like Jan said, if this maintains its strength, we could get a continued run, maybe back to 256. So this consolidation area is what we're watching here. A breakdown beneath 151 probably exits the trade. Otherwise, we're hoping for a pushback to the VWAP. Here we go. So now we're entering the green. Definitely did a much easier to trade it this way when you don't overbuy the amount of shares. When you just kind of layer in with a healthy amount there, much easier to trade. So we'll see where we end up going with this one.
All right, guys, I'm just watching here to see what goes on, but the Qs are holding the 5-minute 377 move, so it looks bullish right now. The next move is 377.50 for the Qs. Let's see if it takes that 377.50, and that should help out Ryan's trade there. 377.50 is right there. It goes through. That should stop me out. I'm out there, and now Ryan's trade should start to getting that nice little uplift here. We'll see if Tesla gets back there through the VWAP. 253s. I'm still looking for maybe shorting around the 254s, but we'll see what happens. First trade for me, red. We'll see what happens with you, my friend.
All right, so maybe we should use I see. Here's the thing, which I was thinking about using this little thing on the chart here to set up a stop and a target. But I just don't want to have this thing hunted, you know. And here we go. So this coming back down right to even. You know what? Let's see if we can do this. Let's do this position.
I got hunted now. Maybe you might get hunted, my friend.
Yeah. See, I just don't want to get hunted, but here, let's there. All right. So there's your stop.
Nvidia
Okay.
rejecting the VWAP there.
Now we'll get a target price. Let's go 254. Yes. Okay. So here's the trade that we want, right? And we're trying to give ourselves a little bit more reward. So we'll see. So if we break down and we break beneath the low of day, just like Jan was saying, the trade will stop out. Here we go. Is the trade going to stop out? Stopped out. So there we go. At least we set it up in a very, very mechanical way. Silver Fox, sorry. We tested it and broke beneath. Let's see if we get it back here again. Rough trade in Tesla. I'll tell you what, I've said it for a long time. I hate this stock. I hate trading this stock. I donate more money to this name than any other name out there. I absolutely hate it. It shakes me out all of the time, but it seems to move quite a bit and it seems to give people insane rewards. So like Jan was saying, I am trying to slay that dragon. It is not going well so far. Good news here is we really, really kept this loss minimal. We're not removed from the game here today. We'll wait for another setup.
Yeah, I might have got it stop hunted there, and I can't even get the Tesla there. VWAP had already VWAP and just went right back down. So my idea was interesting there. Just bad execution. I should have just stuck to the Tesla trade on the at the beginning, but the levels hit there on the SQQQs. Ion Q coming back there. It looks like a short for me here, but Nvidia also coming down there. Weakness there. Faded away pretty well off the 484 spot. That was VWAP. It went down to 481 now. Q's coming right back down. And it kind of did that move where it did a wick, but it closed here at 377.20s. And that's where I was like, man, I was looking for this to kind of close below 377s. And that's why I got out of the position. Now we're coming right back down to the bottom of the range here. So it could have been a fake out to the upside. Nvidia going faster to the downside now. Financial services actually in the green today. That's interesting. I feel like that could end up flipping, especially if we keep going down here in the market. SPY coming right back down to 447.75s. Energy still taking lead there. So what's up with Gush? Gush got up there to 42 today. So that looked like a pretty good play in the oil play. What about Oxy? Oxy's up there now to 66.35. So definitely didn't play that one right. I was looking to take Oxy, didn't get in it there for the 66 move. I had 66.08 available to me. Didn't take it. It's up there now to 66.50s. That looks decent there on oil. Nvidia, new leg lower there on Nvidia. As we're getting that move, I expect to see some downside action come in for the Qs. Be careful out there, guys. That could have been just a trap there in technology on that bounce. To me, a takeout of 376 on the Qs gets us a little bit concerned here. We'll see what happens.
ICCT is going wild here. Smoke Tuna had mentioned this one earlier. I think all I have to do is do that. No,
That's
then
it.
I have to. No, there's a way to.
Which one do you want to show?
No, my Benzinga Pro. Oh, I have to add it. There we go. It's my fault. It's my fault, Mitch. I'm still trying to learn it.
We'll figure it out.
ICCT, the interesting thing here is we had 3 consecutive days of down action in ICCT. So maybe we bounce here on this day. I know we traded up here in the pre-market and we gave it up. So I guess if you want to count that, it's 4. But for the most part, 3 complete sessions of ICCT trading down here. And we're bouncing here today. That's pretty much what I see here in this name. Nice move from pre-market. And we got a $2 move here from pre-market in ICCT. Pally also going higher here.
Trying to play this move here. I'm seeing some moves definitely pull back, right? Roku's even pulling back now. That could actually be a little bit of a pullback to play. Just looking here to see what's going to happen with the Qs. They're playing around and we're playing a little bit more in the chop. So now I got to wait for chop to break. So a lot of chop there in the Qs. Unity, nice move there. Nice move there in Unity. We'll see if we can get green again. Then I could look for Unity pullbacks. We were looking for it yesterday. Nvidia, it's bouncing off that 480s. Q's starting to come back a little bit there. Oracle getting a nice little lift off. So if you're looking at that stock, that's actually doing pretty well. Oracle is one of the names that has been green as of late, so it's staying strong. It did a quick pullback. CRM, really strong today. That's one that I was keeping an eye on, and I haven't played it for the gap fill. It kind of played the gap fill already. Now it's coming back really strong on the day. CRM. PDD, China stocks doing well today. PDD doing well there. Zscaler going up. Charter Communications. So I'm going to the names that are strong right now. Airbnb is strong. CrowdStrike stands strong. There's one stock that I wanted to watch today. Thought could get a lift is Snow. It's already starting to get a lift. We'll see if it goes green here. Kind of like this move on Snow. Can the Qs actually go green here? They're going. It's pushing now. That's how the market can do it. It's just playing right now. All right, guys. I just took a tiny bit of a long on Snow in trade to pool. Of course, I got to be a little bit careful with this one because of the spread. So I only went with 20 shares to start here. I'm willing to add if I could get anything down there in the 157s, like let's say 157.80s. So I put out that ad there, and now looking for it to take 158s and get back there to 159. I want the Qs to stay in the green now and hold 377 on pullbacks. I'll show you that outlook right now. So you see the Qs here. The Qs look like they want to push back and get through that 377.60 spot. Let's go to the 15-minute to take a look at how this looks. And so really want to see it get back there to 377.80s and start pushing above towards the 378. If that happens, we could get the bullish move. It seems like we're getting up and down action all around. So let's see what happens if we can get back into the green. Green today, energy, basic materials, industrials now going green. So keep your eyes on that. Technology in the green. And a lot of what was red now green. So financial services being in the green today. Tell me that we could have that technology going higher. Healthcare is the only area that I see really kind of weak there, but even that's starting to come back. So let's see if we can start getting a move here to the upside. Healthcare pretty weak though. All right, let's see if the Qs go ahead and take that next spot. And of course, I will take an add on Snow if I can.
Market trying to bounce here.
Palantir. Palantir is looking good on the day. That's up there to 1554. Upstart was making a big move up. Unity, you guys have already seen that make a move there. So let's see what those stand out. Definitely Palantir stands out. It's even on the radar here on the bottom. Looking around there. Stoxel starting to take off. You know what's having a really good day is PBR. That's an oil name. Really taking some upside there. What's strong in basic materials? Coal. Coal remaining strong here. HCC having a decent day. AMR. BTU's up. Someday BTU might want to run through 24 and 25. We'll see what happens with that one. The Qs, man, they're playing around. Here comes the 377 test. Let's see if it holds this and then takes off here. All right, I like that little step up here. I'm trying to add to Snow here on pullbacks. Let's see if I can get an add here.
GitLab mentioned by Tuna earlier, moving towards the highs here, looking like that might actually have a nice move up today on GitLab. That would actually, it's not related to Snow, but it's similar.
I'm trying to get an add here. Just got to wait for the pullbacks. get one right around now. At least an opportunity to add here. Let's see. I have 158.16 right now. Let's step up to the plate here. Just need a slight tick down, and I'll probably get filled here on a pullback in 158. So I'm trying to get closest to my entry point so I don't extend myself. There's a jump there in snow. Look at that jump there. All right, so I'm going to try to step up here towards even the 40s and the 30s here. Come on. Try to get filled on pullbacks. It's already looking good for me, but I don't mind adding here. It's getting to that point where I can take an ad. All right, market pulling back a little bit. I'll pull back my limit, and that's when I'm playing with it here to just try to move it around to try to get me that entry. But at the same time, always looking at the Qs here on the right-hand side to see if we're getting that up action in the Qs. Because if the Qs can go, I think Snow can have a really good day today. All right, now I'm going to try to just step up and get filled here towards the 40s. Starting to see some strength coming back here. Just trying to see the offer come down and get filled here. No fill yet, but I still got the 20 shares, right? See what happens here. Nvidia still weak. That's one thing that I am a little bit concerned about. Big names are weak here. Microsoft is strong, at least. That one needs to stay strong. Apple is pretty weak here. Google coming back here. Amazon, that one's strong. That one looks pretty decent. That means maybe Shop doing well. Yeah, Shop doing well there. All right, guys, now we're starting to get a little bit of some up action, but I'm still not getting that breakout look on the Qs. If anything, I just got to pull back on the Qs. So I'm pulling back here off of my ad because the Qs are pulling back. And so we're still playing chop there. And I'll show you guys what that means right now and why am I watching that. And I think it's very important to kind of keep an eye on the Qs there. Qs pulling back there, 375, 376.95s, and it's just playing right here. So I need to see that kind of start to get above that, start to go towards the 377.60s. Let's go to the 15-minute there to respect the Qs, and you can see how this could still come down here, and this kind of just chopping around. Big wicks on the 15-minute shows you that volatility in the market right now.
Pally coming back into the VWAP here. I don't know if I trust it, but definitely something that we're watching.
All right, let's see what happens there. Now starting to get a little bit of a pullback action. There's the Qs coming down fast, man. That was a fast move there in the Qs.
Yeah, we had the ISM non-manufacturing came in hot here. So we had the PMI for August was 54.5 versus a 52.5 estimate. And the prices for August were 58.9 versus 56.8 priors. Both those numbers are hot here. Qs down. Yeah, not a good read there for Mr. Market.
All right, let's see how the market reacts. If it just does a wick here and it can come back. So I'm going to give it a chance, at least from my outlook here on Snow. I set a stop there to protect myself. I put 157.18. We'll see if it goes through that level. But NVIDIA going lower off that mention. And the SQQQ is probably taking off of that after coming down back towards 1780s. There's the move through 18. Let's see if Tesla goes lower. Tesla's looking like it wants to go lower here. We'll see what happens.
Tesla was trying to bounce too, and that bounce is being evaporated by that print, Mitch.
Yeah, Google and Microsoft coming back to the red there. That's not a good outlook for those stocks. Take a look on like growth stocks to see how hard they get hit because they could start getting smacked here. interesting stock is Roku. It's trying to set up for a bullish move here, but it could reject 93s and just go lower. So it's interesting. It's going both ways right now, at least on the setup. Roku's interesting here. I'll show you guys Roku. Look at this little setup here. So it's coming back to support multiple times in the 9160s. Looking like it wants to come back through this wick here where it went to 95.84, but could it also reject through that support and then just start coming back down? Qs are dragging fast there, man.
Yeah, they sure are. Big plunge here on the Qs. I'm just kind of watching some of these other charts here. I'm watching Tesla and Trade the Pool. No bottom here for Tesla. Just none. It's just in free fall.
Yeah, that's why I'm moving up my stop there on snow. I'll give it a chance to come back here, but I'm also moving it up to protect myself, right? If it's not moving, I need to go ahead and protect myself here. There's a Qs, another leg lower there. With that being said, I'm going to go even higher up on the stop there. There you go, already filled there. You can see it filled immediately there. So down about 75 today, and the Qs are going lower there, but you can start looking at some trades as we're starting to see some of these really fall off.
Pally trying to bounce off of its VWAP. We'll see if it has the strength to do that here, though. Volume not looking great on Pally. It was good earlier when it made that move up. Really needs to have some increased volume here to get rolling. We'll see if it can do it.
Buy coming down fast there. Carry going another leg lower. Healthcare going lower there. Nvidia going lower. Even AMD that was looking good now starting to get hit there. All right, guys. See what happens. It's one of those days right now.
Yep. I don't really have a lot going on here too. You know, we tried that Tesla trade. It didn't work. We really haven't been signaled to any type of entry. I'm kind of playing it safe here.
I'm fully out of Apple there, guys, on that takedown. So that just shows to show you just how much of a takedown there that was. I got stopped out break even on the rest of my Apple position. At least was able to take some profit there. But also looking at like Intel right now, that looks like it wants to take me out. So I'm setting a stop on that to protect myself. And the only one that looks good is Chevron, but that could even turn around here if we keep dragging. Just not looking the best right now. I'll keep a watch to see if it holds 166 today. Not going to let it go through that 166. Already took some profits there. So setting up a stop around 165.89 there for Chevron just to take profits on the swing. And now we're really starting to see some downside action leak into the market here. So I'm even going to take a short outlook here on Roku here. Just want a little bounce here, but I kind of like the short here. Completely opposite strategy, but I'm seeing a lot of stocks to start to get hit. IonQ is another one that just got hit there that I would love to see it come back to VWAP here, and I'd get short on IonQ. Let me actually look at that one. That one fell like a tank there from 1950. Would love to see this come back at least to 1925. See if this can come back some. Double top there on the hourly around $20. It could not hold the $20 move at all.
No, Savant, I'm not. I'm waiting for something. I'm trying. I want an opportunity to make the money back, and I am not getting it yet. I'm not getting it from Tesla. I'm not getting it from other places in the market. It's been a real tough week to actually find decent trading opportunities. I'm still out here trying, though.
Hey, that's what it's all about, man. You guys see me trying. It ain't going well, though.
I mean,
all right, putting out an order here at 1925. I want to get filled here on a little bit of a comeback here for IonQ short. You could also look at Upstart and names like that. Those are all getting hit here. What about Carvana? That also got hit at the 50. but nothing's coming back to VWAP. It's just all kind of flush downs, and that's kind of hard to chase. I hate chasing moves. Roku just getting hit there. The 92 short would have worked pretty well. So it was just kind of one of those where it's an opposite style play. Now this play is just running away from me, so it's just tough. It's tough now. Everything's kind of running down, and I want to catch something, but I got to have risk to reward, right? I can't go into this play right now on IonQ and have a risk of it going back to 1960. Want to get short on these moves, but not catching it as much today. What's going on out there? Trade the pool.
Saw Gil is here. Good morning.
Good to see you out there. Let's see if we can catch some of these moves. That's a wicked move on NVIDIA down to 470. Tesla getting crushed, man. Tesla came back for that VWAP and then got hit hard.
Alexa, really good discipline here. Ryan, I think I will call it a day. I hit my daily target and will not give it back. Peace, friend. You have yourself a great day. Alexa, before you jump off here, let us know what it was that allowed you to get to your daily goal today. That's really good. And I got to say, especially on days like today where things are really tough, probably makes a lot of sense to, when you get your gains, when you get what you need, just leave. Don't try to compound it. Don't try to make it more difficult. So interested to hear what you traded. Good stuff though. Look at this. SS trades done for the day. 16% on TRVN, 21% on Rigetti. That was a great swing on Rigetti. I know we've talked about that quite a bit here. Same thing I just said to Alexa here. Great discipline, right? If you get money or if you make your profit goal, don't give it back, right? This market is not easy to trade right now. We're not getting a whole lot of great moves here. So don't give that back if you've got profits. Good stuff for you folks.
Love to hear it, guys. I'm trying to get into this IonQ. Hey, there's one thing that it's always about, right? We're always going to be about hearing success from you guys. So let us know when you guys are having success. Looking for a move back here on IonQ to try to get short some, but needed to come back into the 19s and a pretty good amount into the 19s. Don't want just to short 19 here. Want it to come back some. I need the Qs to come back some. Because if it's just a flush down, that's just hard to chase, guys. I hate chasing flush downs. The SQQQs was a decent play today where I got stopped out by 1 penny, guys. Literally a penny. I got out at the 1779 today. That's tough. I can show you guys that right now. SQQQs. Nice little takeoff there to 1818. Stopped out there right at the bottom, man. That's how it goes sometimes. Didn't give myself enough room there, and I got destroyed on that one. All right, we'll see if Chevron can keep going. Will it stay in the green? Will the oil name stay in the green? That's one thing that I'm seeing right now pull back. That's having an opportunity is oil pullback. Will we see oil continue the strength that we're seeing? I did see some nice takeoff into the 87 there for the oil. So Gush doesn't seem too bad here on the pullback. I like the 41.25s that already hit 41.25 already once. So that's kind of an area where I kind of could risk off of here. You know what? I don't mind this one here. Looking to buy Gush here. See if I can get a little bit of pullback here to 30s. All right, I'm going to just step up here a little bit. I got a little bit of Gush here, willing to add back down here into the below the 41.25s. So I'm going to go ahead and set up here. Let's do 41.20 to add. And then I'd risk off of just the 41.10 area. We'll see what happens on that one. Still looking for IonQ2 to come back. And of course, that one's not going to come back for me. That one's just a frustrating one. I should have shorted it up here when I was starting to see the change, but The move is just too strong now for me to go after. And I feel like this is going to be a leak all day. So it's just kind of one of those moves where I just got to get off of it for a little bit, see if it comes back. But I'm going to go stick to the gush trade.
BRB 1 second.
You got it, my friend. All right. Let's see if we can get this gush trade back up here. Gush starting to make a little move here. Doesn't look too bad. I have 41s back up to 4150s. Try to move this up here and try to add in the 44s. All right, I'm stepping up here. Just took a little bit more there of oil. So I'm going gush. Just neutral right now at 41.45 here. See if I can get back to the green with this trade. There's oil starting to come back a little bit there. Want to see if oil can get that next step up. David going after Penn. I see you guys in the chat. Carmen saying, I'm just waiting for Melly to fall back to the 12,000 range. 12,000 to 1,200 range. I got you, Carmen. Maybe Verb, says Marshall. Oh, I can't trade Verb. That was crazy yesterday. In a little bit of gush. Gonna continue watching if IonQ can come back, but that doesn't seem like it's wanting to come back. Man, the Qs are just getting whacked, dude.
Yep.
A little frustrating that I went after the SQQQs just
literally right before the print. If you had just held through that print, man, that would have banked.
That's just frustrating, dude. Just
We're
frustrating.
getting big pullback here, by the way.
Yeah, I had 500 shares too, and just to get stopped at the low of the day, that's going to be frustrating on my end. I don't think it was an execution mistake because at the end of the day, it was just more like I should have sized in slower. So I should have built the position in slower. That's what I've been trying to do a little bit more. Disney to 82.22. VTGN being mentioned in the chat.
Yep, VTGN is going.
All right, that is in here in, of course, trade the pool. So there you guys see it. Starting to get a little bit of a lift there. That one has a crazy looking chart. What is going on with this one?
Yeah, it's also, well, it has a huge, if you look at an intraday chart today, yeah, right there, you can see the huge volume pop here, Mitch.
Yeah.
It was spread quite a bit just a second ago. 722 is your day high. I think 725 is your daily spot. 729. Let me zoom in here.
Oh, I kind of like this pullback here. All right, let's have some fun, guys. Let's trade this. Just got 710s there. Willing to add a little bit below 7s and then hold to like 675 here. There's it goes through the 615s. Can we get a nice little rip here? There's a nice little rip. 720s. Can we get a little bit more?
You, Mitch.
All right, 730s here. Can we get a little bit more? I'm going to hold to 7 now. I don't want it to break 7. I just wanted to expand here. Let's see if we can get 750 and can maybe get into another halt with VTGN here. Got to look at the hourly levels here to look at the next spot here. But you guys see me doing this on the fly. The important part is 740s. 740s could break us to 8. So that's what I'm going to be looking towards to see what happens at 740. Now you're getting that pullback to 714. Really wanted to hold 7 now on this pullback. Gush going into the green there for me. I'm just watching Gush on the bottom there. Now I got 2 stocks into the green. Just going to focus on VTGN because it's a faster move. And I can look for Gush to just keep going. As long as it stays green, I don't have to focus on it. Here's 720 showing up. Now let's see if it can take this next step up, VTGN.
735 is the spot that it needs to take out.
That's the spot you're looking at?
That's what I'm looking at here.
I like the outlook. I like the now 9 EMAs crawling above 7. So definitely won't let it go through 7 for me. And I can just kind of keep an eye on it here. Just watch as it keeps moving here. Spread opening up about 10 cents there. Be careful. Let's see if it takes the move through 725, 735. And then I'd like to see volume step up at 750 again. The volume stepped up on that 7. So let's see if it takes it out now. That's 735. Dun, 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 dun. Playing the smaller boy with you guys.
I took it with you, Mitch. As soon as you said, I got a shitty fill, though. Sorry for my language.
It was a jumpy. I was looking
jumpy.
at 7.
It was jumpy, and my fill was 720. So not good at all.
It was jumpy. It was jumpy, and I think that's when you got to be careful. That's when we got to maybe use the limit, right? We got to be careful with markets. When it's jumpy,
I will say the more I use the market, the more slippage I think there is. Just 100%. As some feedback, I think that there is definitely some slippage in the execution of market orders here in Trade the Pool. But again, like you were just saying, easy way to get around that: use limit orders. Yeah,
the truth is that what I would watch for on it is the offer. Here's 730.
Here we go. Let's see if it takes this off.
The spread went to about 14 here, so it's either, for me, it's go or no go right now. Literally, like I'll even put a stop at 710 for me. It's either going to go or not.
Red light, green light, like Mission Impossible.
Yep, I'll put 708s there. Look, you guys will watch me do it. Look, bloop, right there. It's either go or no go.
It's literally trying to go here. Nope.
Look at it come back, trying to get me.
Yeah.
I'll pull back a little bit off of it there towards like the 7s, because of course it shouldn't get back through 7 now. 710 on the 9 EMA pullback here. So that's where I got to be a little bit careful and give it to 710s at least. Come on. You got that opportunity here now to take it. Bulls have that chance. Trying to hold 715. There's 730.
It's crazy. It just pops to 730. There's a little size there. So if they take that, I would say look for that to pop right through. But that's just, every time it gets pulled back, they just bring it right back there. 730.
Right. Let's see the 730, 735 step up here, and then it just goes to 750 in an instant. That's what I would like to see. I don't want it to even slow down now as it starts to ramp momentum. Slowly in this name, trying to see the volume come back. The volume slowing down at the top. Lots of wicks at the top. $720s. 725 on the offer. 28. You're going to see the step up. We're going to see the volume step up. Let's see it. See, they want to take it.
Smoke Tuna saying VTGN getting weak. I'll be honest, from watching the time and sales tuna, it feels the same to me. The only thing that I can say here about what?
There's a pullback. There's the pullback. It was quick. Gonna look to see if the 7s hold here. If not, I'll get out. $705 now.
695 your VWAP, by the way.
There you go. Yeah, I could come back to that VWAP. I'm probably not going to let it come back to that. I have my hand literally on the trigger right now.
Is that 100 shares that I see in terms of size? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I have. I feel comfortable playing with the 100 shares.
Yep. I got you.
It's very easily for me to calculate my risk and reward. Right? That's the key. If I start messing around with like too much shares on a smaller name, it's easily how I just start losing my outlook on what I'm doing there. Gush is going a little bit lower, so I need to keep an eye on Gush. I'm going to take a quick look at Gush to the right-hand side. Still doesn't look too bad on Gush, but it could come back on the 5-minute all the way down to 41.25s. I'd like to see that hold 41.30s on pullbacks and then get back up to 41.75. We'll see what happens there on Gush. How's our overall market doing here? Trees are starting to climb back a little bit.
They're up off the lows, but it really hasn't had any type of big bounce yet.
All right, now looking good here for VTGN. It's starting to come back to 7. Then it comes right back to 710 here. I'm just going to watch it here. You're seeing some people already kind of get scared out. I can see that already, kind of some fills getting filled there. I feel like some people are not buying the 7. I think it's more pullback getting out here. So I'm just watching it here because the next move could be wicked on the downside action. So I just had my hand literally on the trigger to get out if I need to. But giving it also a chance to just pop through all of a sudden 725, 730s on the upside. So it's kind of like risk to reward here. What's it on the upside? It could be 50 cents. What am I risking here? 20 cents. So you just got to always keep that in mind, right? Because the down move could go to 690s in an instant. That's really my 100% I'm getting out. There's some people getting wicked out a little bit there. It went to 698 and it wicked them at 7. So now I'm looking to see if it can come right back up there. A lot of times why I look for the wicked move up also is because the truth is that we don't want to, you don't want to let the bulls back in. So it kind of does this quick moves to not let those bulls come back in. If they want to come in here at 710, it goes usually fast through the top so that it can have people chase the action. So now's that recovery to 7 where we've already gone to 7 multiple times. Definitely don't let it see 7 even show up here on the bid. It can show up for a second, but if it goes through that, which at least for me, I'll be getting out. Just got to respect it here, guys. The action should be wicked. Ion Q rejected 19. That looked interesting for me, but I needed to come back to VWAP. Didn't come back to where I wanted to get short on it. That still looks good, though.
MRIN, M-I-R-N, for you penny players here, is actually starting to push away from the VWAP here on volume. Market Movers giving us a $20 super sticker, Mitch. Look at that. Awesome stuff.
We might need it.
Oh, Mitch, I say this. At least you make me laugh all the time. Trading is just
that's what it's about, man.
When it's all stress and no laughs, trading can really get rough. But when you get some laughs, when you get somebody that can make you laugh all the time, I appreciate that a lot, Mitch.
I appreciate you, Market Movers. Hit the like button. That's how you guys can also support us. You guys don't always have to pay the extra. Of course, we appreciate the extra, right? I always say this all the time, Ryan. We need to start putting our Venmos out there or something because.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where does that go to?
Where does the super sticker go to?
I've never seen the super sticker revenue.
Nah, that's what it's all about. We appreciate it, guys. Thanks for showing the love. All right, guys, I set my stop there for Gush. It is coming down here pretty close to my stop right now, so I'm going to keep an eye on it to see if it hits here. Want to give myself a little bit of room, maybe to the 15s, but not through that 41.15. We'll see what happens there. Let's go back to VTGN. That's the one I want to stay on and focus on because that's the one that could really hurt me here. Gush is kind of a measured move, right? I don't know what could happen with this VTGN, so I'm just staying on it.
VTGN could still work out here. Emrin's still going higher here on MRIN, and it's still going higher here. I see Humble Ninja from the chat mentioning NVAX. NVAX had a pretty decent day here today as well, up just about 60 cents from the opening.
Smash it up, guys. Let's see if we can get up there to 200 today. Will we get there? Come on, guys. Hit it up. We do this every day for you guys, live for free, guys. Like always, plenty of other ways to go look at chat rooms out there.
It's tough doing it every day because, like, back in the day, Mitch, when I used to struggle, I used to just take a couple of days off from trading, focus on other work that I needed to do, whatever it is. I can't do that anymore. I'm forced to come back here. It's not easy. It's really, really not easy, but that's part of it. That's part of the game.
Yep, part of the game.
It forces me to look at things I wouldn't normally look at.
All right, 699 showing up here for VTGN, so I got to really be careful here. What am I doing? I'm just also watching like level 2s on another brokerage. So I could also like combine, right? I'm using like my other services here. Use always tools, right? Like we always talk about Benzinga Pro also being a great tool, right? You got to have your tools, guys. Tools in the tool belt. That's what it's all about.
Lynn's saying, good thing the Italian beef is better than the stock for Portillo's. Let me tell you something, man. That has been a really frustrating stock. This stock has no business being $17. And the longer I watch this and the more I look at it, the more disappointed I am in their management. And I understand that the consumer's tightening and all that, but it shouldn't be this low. The stock performance has been, in one word, pathetic. It's been tough. Absolutely pathetic.
It's tough to see that, right? It's tough to see that. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do here is a little bit of a kind of push here. So I'm going to set a stop here for a stop buy order here. So I'm looking to do a stop limit buy order. So what is that going to be? So it's going to activate if we go back through 730s, and I'm going to put out an order at like 715 at that spot. It might not fill it because, of course, it's for a pullback fill, but I'm looking to see if I can get this nice little push right here on VTGN and add as it takes off. And I also have another order just in case I need to what? Protect myself. There's 714 on the offer. 718 here. See if we can get through there. If it does come back, I'll get out, but setting myself up because I've been in this trade now for what? Good like 5 or 10 minutes. So if I'm going to get this move, I want to at least maybe cash in on the reaction to the upside. I like how it places it here for you here, like has a stop with the limit like expansion here. So I can move the limit and I don't have to even touch the stop trigger. That's actually pretty decent. I like that.
I like the way the ladder and the chart talk to each other, right? So you can just set limits right on the ladder. Then on the chart, you can adjust a potential stop or a take profit level. I like that. The more ways I can visualize what my trade is going to do, I feel like I'm in more control over it. Maybe that's not accurate, but that's the way it feels anyway.
All right, guys, hit that like button there. Check it out. Of course, check out Trade the Pool so you guys can do what we're doing right here. And I want to see if anybody out there is enjoying Trade the Pool. I know I've seen some people sign up, so let us know, guys. We'll definitely love to kind of battle with you guys. Let's keep going. It's always focus on the success, but we'll see what happens here. Now I'm getting that breakthrough 7 here. Let's see if it recovers. Ready to get out here. Hands on the trigger here for VTGN to get out. Pull back to 692s. Will it recover? Or will I lose the 20 bucks here? Let's find out. It's a small little risk, right? Don't got to really stress too much here, but let's see if we get this quick recovery. Back through 7. Clicking off. Man, the market coming down a little bit more. Is NVIDIA getting hit there and the Q's coming down? What are you guys seeing on the Q's at least? I'm not even watching it right now because looking at the trade, but see NVIDIA going lower. That's one thing I do see. NVIDIA's just taking a smack. AAL showing up for me. That's not good. What's going on with AAL? Ooh, it's bouncing a little bit. Actually had a decent day today. It's always funny how I'll have a decent day on a day where like, you were getting negative news on the industry, right? That's how it goes sometimes. AAL with a little bit of a bounce. This VTGN just needs volume. The volume.
But this is why we were talking earlier about volume and why it's so important. Look at the chart that you have in your screen, Mitch, and look at the corresponding volume.
Look at the volume.
This is why I talk about it all of the time. Because it is the most important thing. It is going to cause the price to do the things that you want it to do. And if you don't have it, it's not going to do that. VTGN coming back in here. If it can't break the VWAP here, I'm out.
Yep. I have my hand literally on the trigger here. Just watching here. See if we're going to break the 691. Last trade at 694. See that 694 last trade. That's what I'm looking at right now. And then 699 comes back. So who knows? Who knows, guys?
What was the news on Bud, by the way?
Bud? On
Bill Gates buys. Oh, Bill Gates bought $95 million worth of Anheuser-Busch shares.
Oh,
you can't even make this stuff up anymore.
He said,
God, these people are all connected and corrupt. Holy cow.
He said, you're woke crowd.
I hope he gets crushed. I hope he gets absolutely crushed.
God. Opportunities, guys. Opportunities present themselves when people want to stay in the headlines. You can make money. I don't mind that bet at all. To tell you the truth, Ryan, the truth is that I think sometimes people get caught up in the hype more than they can in the cash that they can make off of it. So I think that's not a bad thing to kind of keep an eye out for. We'll see what happens. He's trying to make money off of it. I'll tell you that much. Got to profit when you can profit, right? Just like at some point, even TAP, like coming down wasn't a bad one.
Yeah, you said it, Crow.
Let's see if we could take 7.
You said
it. Oh, good Lord, guys. Come on. A bear's a bear. Wherever it's made.
We'll see if VTGN can get back. Dave, I see that you added to it here. Were you under water on that? We're still at the VWAP here.
Ooh, I'm looking for this to move, man. Come on, wake up. Wake up, wake up. We need this to wake up, guys. Wake up.
Stunk. Is that a stank sound drop?
It, baby.
Is that what that?
You know
wow,
it.
that surprised me.
Stonks. Don't want to get smacked here. Keeping an eye on it, though. I know somebody out there being like, damn. All right, guys, let's dance a little bit.
So VTGN, if we look at the 1 minute here, Mitch, let me go to mine here real quick.
Yeah.
How do I?
I got you. Remove me. That's it. Yeah.
All right. So if we look at the 1 minute chart here, by the way, I added, just like you, Dave, I added. My average is 709. You're 703. I'm 200 shares long here. Breakdown from this VWAP, I'm out. I'm already down about $20 here. What I'd really like to see here is a move back up and then through. And I think it's probably possible. It, like Mitch said earlier, we just need to get some volume in here. And it's not looking good. So we'll see. But this is the plan here. In fact, let me go ahead and use this little thing. Let's see if we get stop hunted again. Yes, I'm sure. So I'll be right under the VWAP. And then a target, we will go what? Target will go 750. Yep, there we go. All right, so we'll see if VTGN can end up getting it going here. I don't know what's going on today. I don't have it today. I am not getting sentences out. I do not feel sharp. Felt great when I woke up, but man, oh man, I something's going on now.
That's just life, my friend. It's never one way. That, like I always say, like you're always gonna have the battles, man. Right? We'll just get through the gremlins today, man. We got this.
We got this.
Got this, man. One thing that we were actually talking about it last night from our book, Market Wizards, right? And there's one thing that's very important. And if you guys don't know that book, I'll show you guys the book here. Of course, you guys can check that book out. It's pretty interesting. So they just do interviews of traders, right? And I think one of the major things that it talks about is having just confidence in your abilities, right? You have to have confidence in your abilities, regardless of what the outcome is, right? Like I can easily look at myself and be negative today, right? Like, hey, I'm in the red. I'm down 105.
Stopped out of
for me too.
VTGN.
I like how we both got stopped out at the same spot. We respect our move
It
there,
has
and we're not
been
going to
tough,
battle.
man. This
been
has
tough.
been tough.
It's been tough, guys. Got to cancel out my other order to add, right? I'm not going to add on that breakout. But that's what it's about, guys. It's about learning how to deal with the downside too. And the outcome can a lot of times depend on how you feel. And what we need to try to do is not depend on the result, the outcome, right? We're taking trades not based on what happens on the outcome. We're taking trades because they're based off of what? A processed approach. So if as long as you're sticking to your processed approach,
working.
You need to just say, hey, it's okay. Pat yourself on the back. I did what I was supposed to do there. I respected my stop out. And could it be a bad move? Yes, it could be. The stock could go up from here. But the truth is, we don't look at the outcome. We look at what we're able to do there, which is focusing on one thing and one thing only: execution. So it's all good. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we can get the next lift. It could still lift off through the 7, and you could always get back in the name. That's one thing that's certain. Now, one thing's for certain, you want to always maybe call it at some point. Like to me, this is strike 3, down 131, strike 3. You're out. There. So that's it. That's it for me today, and I can always come back tomorrow, right? That's all it is. All right, we'll see what happens in stocks like AI tonight, right? AI already taking a hit, coming down there to 31. That's going to report tonight. And keep your eyes on, team. We'll see what happens on different names today. Definitely tech struggling. AAL not looking too bad there. We'll see what happens on the airlines if they start to get a lift there. How's Roku doing? Roku now down to 90s. So I was looking at a 92 short earlier on that one. That would have played out for a good like $2. Probably would be taking profits somewhere around here in the 90s. So it doesn't look too bad there on that Roku. It's pulled back a decent amount already. Qs overall, that's coming down there. It's 375.19. So that's just barely hanging on. So we'll see what happens with these Qs. It's been a tough day, guys. Tech definitely just wrecking us today as that quick turnaround there and a quick pullback on some tech names.
Smoke Tuna and Dave saying my stop loss is too tight. I mean, maybe that's the case, but I don't want to accept more loss. If all I'm doing is taking L's, I don't want to make them even bigger.
Yeah,
could be true, VTGN here, for example, this is down another 10 plus cents from where I stopped out of it.
Yep. Banks getting hit here. Now they're joining into the party to the downside. So could look at that action as a continuation to the downside there. Look at the KRE, man. Look at that KRE trade, dude. It should have been able to I should have swung trade this short. But this one was a little bit harder. Look at that move from yesterday. Look at that move down to 44. So that one was good action. Just didn't stick with it today even. And maybe that was the best trade also. Sticking with that one. It did a bounce to resistance and short. So bounce to the prior resistance. It bounces there to 44.80s, gets slightly above there towards 44.85, and then gets hit on the downside action there. KRE going lower. JPM now going below the VWAP. Goldman Sachs starting to get lower. We'll see what happens on the regional banks, but XLF will show you that it's starting to come back down also. That one also did a little bit of a pop and then drop. So we'll see if those can come back, but definitely banks getting hit again now. And pretty much, what is it? Yep. The only thing in the green is industrials right now. And then you got communication services, but That's just probably a little bit of a move here for some names like CHTR, Charter Communication, doing well there. But industrials, let me see what's doing well there. Not seeing too much that I know, at least big cap names that are up there. Cat is in the green, and GE. Those are the bigger boys that are in the green. Lockheed Martin, big down, 12%. What happened to Lockheed Martin? Something happened there, guys. That's a significant move to catch. I'll definitely be talking about that later today on Start Swing Trade. These are the type of moves that I definitely talk about because that's a big cut down through support. Down to 432s there on Lockheed Martin. You don't see that stock go down 12% out the gates too often. So it's a big hit there. CRM is one to kind of keep an eye out for. It is coming back. We talked about that one earlier in the day. It stayed strong. It's just pretty much gone sideways here. Qs overall just staying sideways at the 375, never coming back there towards the support. Ion Q starting to work its way back here. Low part of me wants to go short in that one, but you know how it is. I'm already on strike 3 rule, and I got to try to follow my rules, even though I might miss a really good play here. Little part of me wants to short this Ion Q. I think it could go to 1850s, but hey, it is what it is. I'm going to leave it alone for now. Already used up my bullets for the day. And the best trade was probably this one. Just how it goes sometimes, guys. Look where I got in. I got in a little bit too early. It came back down, stopped me out right there at 1791. And that's how it goes sometimes, team. So, hey, this was at least a good outlook. Bad execution on probably the risk parameters there. Just too big, too quick. Affirm or stocks like that, I could look for those to come right back down. Upstart. Look at that one. That one's taking a big hit there. That one didn't even bounce much. So that's why I like this Ion Q. But it could come back to VWAP, so I'd have to give myself room to like 38s here. And I don't think I want to just short off the 20 spot. So that's the harder part there to determine that one. Roku was an interesting outlook. That's kept going lower. That could just fill a lot of the move that it had. So we'll keep an eye on that. PBR pulling back there. Energy now red and starting to turn around. So you are getting that turn in energy today. I might get stopped out in Chevron here, do the 166. And that's not a stop out. That's a green trade, but like a stop to get out and profit take. All right, you're liking PFF today? Okay. GBZ Ninja saying short AMC. Yeah, you could probably do that. I think keeps going down since the split, right? I mean, look at this. Opportunities, man. Intel pulling back there. If it goes to 36, I'd get out of that one. But are starting to climb back here. We'll see if we actually can climb back here. I'm looking at the Qs to see if we can start working our way back to VWAP. We could come back to VWAP and then reject. So who knows? Choppy markets right now. Today we got some downside action coming in with those numbers. The leak continuing here. SPY's working its way down to 445. Could be coming down all the way down back towards 440s. So there's no reason why this can't continue to leak. And then Microsoft, I was going to look to see if it can hold 332s. It's right off of that spot. It went down below it. Let's see if it can recover that spot. Show you guys Microsoft right now. 332s has recovered some of it right now. I like it on the daily to see if it can hold like on a little pullback today and then the following day get back through 335s. That's just on Microsoft itself though. Only
Real
that chart.
quick, we were talking about some of these SPY levels here, Mitch. This was actually from the Outlook this morning. First level here was going to be the 50-day moving average at 446.50. We went right through it. We'll see where we close. In addition to that, next spot down is going to be 444. I would expect to find some support here, but these are the levels we're looking at. Ultimately, I still think we break 444 and travel down to this 426 to 431 area. But
Yeah.
bro's got it here. Football tomorrow night. Like literally, like this market sucks. It sucks. I haven't had any fun this week. I didn't really have a lot of fun last week. It feels just awful across the board. The savior is football. Just get us to tomorrow.
That's why I like swing trading, dude. I always look at my swing trading account and I'm looking up and I'm like, all right, well, I got 2 stocks up 3% there, 1 stock down 2%. But that's why I like that kind of approach, because the truth is being in multiple positions there is actually helping me, right? So overall 6% to the green side, down 2.2 on one of them. So that's not too bad. Up about 4% on the overall. And that's what I'm looking at, right? And just focusing on that. And that's why I have protection on Chevron to make sure that I take that gain if it's going to come back down. That's why you just got to have different approaches, I think. Looking to see if AAL continues back up towards the 1470s. This is not looking too bad. I did an ad today down towards like 1410s because it just went up at the gates. But it is looking like it's climbing back a little bit today. How the other airlines doing? Love is even doing a little bit of a pullback now, looking like it wants to get going here back towards 3080. Can this start to climb back on the day? Or is this a short opportunity? That's the interesting spot right now. Doesn't look too bad of a trade there, at least like risk to reward outlook, right? At least for the intraday. We'll see what happens. Can this get back there to 3040s? Yeah, I could see it doing that. UAL, that's holding in the very similar charts. They're all very similar. Another way to look at this is with ETFs, right? What about jets? Jets. Suck. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say that. I didn't say it.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I always used to love when I was at the Dolphins games and the Jets would be playing. And of course, there's so many New York fans in Florida that they're just there yelling their Jets. And then you hear all the Dolphin fans just like, suck. Oh, it's always fun to watch some football live, man. We'll see what happens there on Jets ETF. As companies cut back from borrowing, it seems to me that they will issue more preferred shares to raise capital, since it's usually more affordable for companies to do so. That's not a bad outlook, Alan. A little bit longer term thinking, but not a bad thing to think about, right? It's a different style of trading, that's for sure. ARM IPO, I kind of like it.
I have no angle on it. You want to share what you like about it?
Technology, good space, AI player, right? I mean, you're going to get all the hype to it, right? The hype will be there. That's for sure. And when I look for an IPOs, how's the hype?
This is the SoftBank. Okay, this is soft. I gotcha.
The hype is there, man. I think it's something definitely to look out for.
Biggest IPO since Rivian in 2021. When does this IPO? Is this today?
I think it's next week.
Okay, next week.
I believe it's next week here.
I was gonna say this would have been a rough week to do it.
I mean, just go to their homepage, right? Look at this, guys. This already tells you enough, man. Dang. The future is built on ARM. They know what they're doing there, guys. It's the future of computing, supercomputers, quantum computing, AI. They're gonna have it all there, all the buzz. Jay saying it. The hype's there, the valuation's not. Well, valuation's usually never there for IPOs. Let's just be honest. They're usually at a premium, right? Like, let's say, what was the one that recently? What was it? Kappa, or what was it? What's the Mediterranean one?
Kava.
Kava. There you go.
CAVA.
Kava. Yeah, I don't think we have that one on here. How's that one been doing? It's not doing too bad.
It came back in. It had its little post IPO pop and came back in, but it really hasn't broke down any larger.
I remember now. I think it was here where I talked about that. It was like a 50s, and I was like, man, I think the high is in probably forever on Kava, but we'll see what happens there. That's just how sometimes IPOs can go. But this one had the hype out the gates, and then it did get the nice little lift. A lot of times I see early lifts and then drops on IPOs. So we'll see what happens here on these airlines. It looks interesting here. I'm seeing American kind of lead a little bit here. So I could go after the Jets one, or I could go after the UAL or the Love trade there. But just trying to talk about trades there, right? We'll see if that really wants to make the move and get going here. That's in the industrial space, and that is just slightly red now, as we're still seeing leaking in the market. Qs look like they want to make another leg lower here. Doesn't look good there. Ooh, look at that. That doesn't look bueno. SQQQ was the move today. That's for sure. Ryan, I'll be looking back at that trade for sure and being like, man, if only I had some SQQQ. But
Don't
that's how
look
it goes.
back. Only look forward, Mitch.
Only one way, baby. Curse with knowledge. Sometimes going to happen, guys. We're going to sometimes have a little bit of a
mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Mission failed today, but we'll be back and we'll get them next time. That's what it's always about, Ryan and I.
That's a sound drop from Call of Duty, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I'm pretty sure that's an end of round sound drop.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Oh God, that's funny.
You know that one. Do you remember that one playing Call of Duty? I know I remember that one playing Call of Duty. That's probably the times when I used to play it. We'll see what happens with the airlines. Lynn's asking if you tried Kava yet. I don't think I have. I wonder if my man AT in the background's tried Kava, but I won't do it to him like that. No. Is there Kava in Detroit? Nope. He's shaking his head no. So no Kava in Detroit. We're trying to get the information, of course, like always. There's Kava here in Charlotte, but it's not really my type. But hey, I didn't see too much of a line out the door like I usually see on Chipotle's, right? So that's how I always knew Chipotle was going to do well. You know, you see people holding the door and standing outside. That's probably a business that's going to do well. Tesla. Michael wants to take a look at. We can take a look at Tesla. Let's go. Tesla, how's that looking? Pretty weak. When stocks don't come back to VWAP, that's a good signal that it's really weak. But one thing that it is doing here is it's on the 5 minutes showing you potential reversal action. So some day traders would be looking at this to see if maybe I could trade it off of these wicks. So the 246 level seems to make sense for buyers to have stepped up there and trying to see it go back to through this kind of 248 level. So you could draw a rectangle pattern there and kind of look to see if those can get above or below that. Above that, you can have buyers coming back to drive it to a reversion of the mean trade to kind of the VWAP. And then you could also have people shorting it through that bottom of that rectangle as it comes back down through the 245.50 for an expansion move lower. So I usually draw these rectangles to tell myself to kind of respect it and wait for it to make a move here. And then I can maybe trade it in that direction.
Pally through the highs of day and moving.
All right. Not too bad. All right, guys, it's about to be 11 in just a second. We'll be switching over to All Access. Like always, smash the like and check out Trade the Pool. I'm going to throw up the link one more time here. Like always, you guys can also hit the QR code. I'm going to make the QR code go big on the screen here for you guys. Like always, hit that QR code. Check out Trade the Pool. We fund stock traders. And like always, you can get a 14-day free trial. Just want to check out the platform and learn how to use it best. Like always, you guys see us pushing with it. We'll see what happens. We'll keep the battle up here. That's for certain. All right, that's probably gonna do it for us in
Yeah,
a
that's-
second. I'll let you guys know when Zunaid's ready here. When I switch over to All Access, I'm gonna get Ryan out of here. Any last words, my friend?
Stick with it. I know this week has been tough. We got football coming. We're going to keep sticking with it. We're going to fight through some of the tough times and really enjoy the better times. So I'm done for the day here, but I'll be back at this again tomorrow, Mitch.
Hey, keep battling, my friend. It's good to see you, Ryan, and I'll see you like always tomorrow. We're going to wrap it up here on live trading. Get you guys over to All Access. Just give me a couple of seconds here to get Zunaid ready, and I'll bring you guys over there. Looking at the trading action right now, it just looks pretty weak here. Q still going lower, SPY going lower. I see the financial services doing what? Just getting wrecked today. And I talked about this on Start Swing Trade yesterday about how you might see people talking about the bank situation when it's too late. But like always, what do you want to do is maybe get a little bit of a warning up ahead, right? And like always, we can't tell you guys what to trade, but I can tell you guys the price action that I'm seeing out there. And that's what Benzinga is all about, right? Giving you guys things and information to keep you guys informed ahead of that decision-making process, right? I think you'll see a lot of media focus eventually on the banking situation coming down. That's why I've been trying to make it apparent here, right here on Benzinga before things happen, right? So that you guys can go ahead and make your investment decisions. Like always, smash the like. Let me make sure that Zunaid's ready to go. Is he ready? It looks like we're having a little bit of issues with Zunaid. Let me just check on him here. All right. I'll find out what's going on there. Get you guys over to Zunaid in just a second. All right, let's keep looking into the markets here, and then we'll get over to All Access in just a second. Looks like Zunaid is having some camera issues, so let's take a look at what's going on Tesla here. Will it break through that 245.50s that we just talked about, or will it find buyers around the 246 and bounce right back up through the rectangle? All right, we'll see if it breaks through there. It's financial services starting to bounce back a little bit. Q's looking like it might get through the 374. Of course, you guys can check all this out and find out more, of course, where? On, of course, Start Swing Trade. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring on my man Zunaid and kick you guys over to All.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mitch. Apologies for the tech issues on my end, but we did go ahead and figure that out, and hope everybody's doing just fine on this lovely, what is it, Wednesday? Sometimes I just lose track of the day. It is Wednesday. We're almost halfway through the week. But you know what we love to do here at Benzinga is to bring you executives from publicly traded companies so that we can go ahead and get your questions answered in the chat. And AI has just been such a hot topic for the past 6 months. We had this lovely guest on earlier, but we're going to go ahead and bring Evan back along with Dasha as well. We've got Toggle3D.ai. The ticker is going to be TGGLF. All Access starts right now. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Doing great.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Evan, I know you and I have talked before, but it's a pleasure to have you on as well. Glad we can kind of go ahead and have this conversation. I know we've got a couple of demos coming up in just a moment here as well. So excited for that because the last time was kind of cool as you all did with the furniture thing. So I'm excited to see what y'all have in store. But before we kind of get things going here, Evan, I'd love for the viewers at home to find out. So if you could explain it to me like I'm 5, what is it that your company does?
Sure. So we use generative AI to essentially create a 3D modeling studio that's focus is on textures. So you bring a CAD file onto Toggle 3D, and you're able to essentially point and click on pieces and parts of the CAD file and texture it. CAD files, if you've ever seen one, they're like this very boring gray metal, kind of color. So we bring it all to life in Toggle. Again, it's AI powered, so everything's point and click. It's quite magical, and Dasha has an amazing demo for you guys to see what it's all about.
It's interesting because I'm in the middle of trying to start like this podcasting. I'm trying to I have the podcast bug, and I'm like trying to figure out what logo I want to go with. And of course, instead of, going to Fiverr and trying to get a designer, I'm trying to get AI to do it. I'm trying to tell them, hey, here's what I want to do. Here's what I'd like to see. So I'm in that process. So it is very intriguing. But Dasha, I'd love to hear from you in terms of how AI is specifically suited in these types of applications and what is, for what y'all do as well. And then, of course, we can kind of go into the demo whenever you're ready. You can share your screen, by the way. I believe you hit present on the bottom. You should be able to share your screen.
Yeah, so I'll start sharing my screen here in a short second, unless you had anything to add on before that. But I just wanted to kind of go first to your questions, Anaid, because you bring up an interesting point. And Evan brought up CAD files. CAD files, that first industry was really started in like the 1970s, and a lot of that software is kind of that's kind of the era that it took its rise. And so now that we're in a different era completely with 3D modeling, AI, we've noticed that these CAD files exist. They're still being made. A lot of the times they're sort of regulated, where you have to have a CAD file before you design. So how can we take something that's already there and make it really easy for people to take it out of that software, convert it to a web-friendly 3D format, and then use AI, being an AI-first platform, to help you texture it, help you get it ready for presentation mode, whatever that means for the end user. And one way that we're doing this, as Evan mentioned today, is by letting you generate textures, not just textures, but PBR maps, which ultimately mean textures that are photorealistic. So they react to light the way that this texture would in the real world. And we're doing this couple seconds, you have it on your model, and you're ready to go and kind of take it beyond toggle. We're answering this question of what do you do with 3D models? We're doing this in an AI-first platform.
Yeah.
Evan, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would just add that it's important to put things in perspective as an investor. And I've been in the market, going all the way back to the 1990s, and seeing mega trends emerge. And if you think about AI really is, the computer industry being reinvented. If you think about how powerful a statement that is, and that's not even me, that's NVIDIA's CEO. And I'm just echoing that in every way, like this is the rebirth. And so Toggle is using AI. We are taking full advantage of this immense new opportunity. Toggle could not exist 2 years ago. It couldn't, because it's an AI first platform. Right. So, it's important for investors to understand that Toggle is part of this birth of this whole new industry. And without the industry, there would be no Toggle. We're leveraging all the latest and greatest generative AI technologies in Toggle. In fact, one of the things to think about, again, for investors to think about how big this AI industry has become. Graphic processing units, GPUs, are considerably harder to get than drugs these days. I'm just saying, it's like, if you look at the marketplace and you're like, how do I actually get computing power? It isn't easy. It's actually become a very, very hot commodity. And so we're leveraging AI. Toggle is, right place, right time.
Right.
So there's two mega trends happening here. AI is the newest mega trend. But, we've been in the 3D modeling space, which is what, AI is being used for on the Toggle platform. We've been in the 3D modeling space going all the way back to 2018. And the 3D modeling megatrend has just exploded. So it's a combination of 3D modeling and AI. And with that, I think it's a good segue to maybe do a demo.
Yeah. Again, feel free to go ahead and share your screen whenever you're ready. And while we set up that demo there, interested if one of y'all wants to talk about the market that this space is looking to disrupt as well, especially because you mentioned, hey, we just started a couple of years ago. So as we get the demo set up on y'all's end, what's the market share that you're looking to take here? What's that look like?
So, there's a massive, massive opportunity here worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Just look at Adobe, look at AutoCAD, look at these big platforms from big tech companies. They all have some kind of a design studio. Primarily it's been 2D.
Right.
And AutoCAD is CAD, right? We're basically coming in to disrupt that ecosystem using, again, an AI first platform. They're all bringing AI onto their 2D platform. They've also been using, legacy technology, legacy computing power, and all of that is very clunky compared to the new tech, right? AI, what's so amazing about AI, and the reason why AI has just exploded, the reason why the rate of progress is exponential is because it's so easy to use. It's, you type in, a text prompt and it gives you a whole story, right? Or you could even talk to it, or you could show AI a picture and it'll actually turn that picture into a 3D model. So AI is just so easy. It's so the lift is effortless. If you think about it, you used to have to hire programmers to program. You can now have what's called a text prompt programmer.
Right.
Right? I mean, think about that. It's just massive. So that's kind of what's driving this. And so when you look at the opportunity, it is in the hundreds of billions. And when you compare that to Toggle's market cap, right now we're undiscovered. There's only a small number of investors. Next Tech, the parent company, spun it out. Next Tech is public and still owns almost 50% of the shares outstanding.
Right.
I own about 1.7 million shares. So I'm the single largest shareholder with about a 6% stake. But the market cap is only like 12 million US, 16 million Canadian. It's kind of a joke. I mean, it's so undervalued.
Yeah.
It's mean. So I actually went into the market and bought 15,000 shares just, to because I couldn't take it anymore. It's not,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I might actually buy more just because it's so cheap. You look at any tech company.
Right.
I challenge you, find me any tech company that has legit AI that's signing up 500 people a day, which is what's happening. We're signing up 500 people a day. Do the math on that, right? It's a lot.
Yeah.
And our market cap's only, 12 million US, 60 million Canadian. You can't find other companies like that. It's only because we were like a spin out from a parent, and there's only a handful of investors that actually know about it, which is why, we're here.
Yeah. So, you mentioned about you purchasing the shares, and obviously, as they say, not me, not my words, but talk is cheap. You're putting money where your mouth is in terms of what you believe in the company. So that's great to see. And it'll be great to see if you do pick up some more shares. I know you mentioned that you had a demo to share.
Yeah.
So if you'd like, whoever's going to lead that way, it looks like Dasha, you've got your screen ready to share. So you just give us a thumbs up and we'll go ahead and put that on screen.
I'm ready.
All right. What we got?
Awesome. So I'm just going to verify you guys see the Toggle platform right now.
We sure do. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So here's Toggle. And let me actually just start off by kind of showing you what a CAD file looks like post-conversion on the platform. Right, so we've talked about manufacturing files. We've kind of talked about them being sort of this great asset because CAD is not really known to make things look photorealistic on sort of a design perspective. They're more focused on the engineering part of the product. So you bring it onto Toggle, we will decrease the size of it. We've done up to 95% lighter files post-CAD conversion. And you get sort of this gray mesh that looks like this.
Looks like it looks like my living room couch, though. Except no design, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you have it all separated into parts. We have a massive PBR library that's already built. So just a quick reminder, PBRs, those photorealistic, physically based rendered materials that will react to light that they do in the real world. And we have thousands available for you. And I'll just kind of go ahead and just grab a fabric here as kind of what we know couches to be, and it gets applied instantly. So point and click texturing, that's easy.
Right.
But here's kind of where the magic happens because, it's great to look through, all of these thousands of different sort of examples, but sometimes you're looking for something very specific. and perhaps it doesn't exist in our library. So here I kind of want to show you where we take texturing, which used to be a very, very manual, very sort of layered process. You had to kind of create all of these different effects together, layer by layer. PBR creates all of these effects for you at once, and we're doing this using generative AI. So I'm going to get to the fun stuff right away, and then we'll backtrack and kind of talk about a couple other use cases. But here's a typical text prompt that you would expect as we know generative AI to be today. So in that couch example, I can really look for anything. So maybe I'm looking for a red leather sort of couch. I don't see it in the pre-made library. I want it to kind of look a certain way. What you see here is the AI in real time generating for you what it thinks is red leather.
Yeah. So I just want to pause there for a half second, Dasha.
Mm-hmm.
If you were listening, what the AI thinks, this is the AI thinking. This isn't from our library that it's searching.
Yeah.
This is net new. The AI is creating this, which is, again, blows my mind every time I see this. Like, it took me a few times of listening to Dasha before I'm like, wait. What's making it? Oh,
Yeah.
this is the AI. this is
a
actually
library that has a tag of, hey, if someone types in red and leather, pull this up, or else it would have been part of your offering in the beginning. So this is completely
new.
Generated by AI in that sense.
Yes. That's the magic here, is that it'll literally generate that, and then Dasha will just easily and effortlessly put this on the couch.
Yeah, so right before we do that, I just want to point out here. Sorry, let me regenerate this here. Screen sharing.
Regenerating. Just because we can.
And you'll actually, I'll prove to you right now that it's AI, because the swatches that you'll see right now will not be the ones that you originally saw. But I want to
keep regenerating. Like, you could just keep asking it for more variations of the red leather. It's like, show me more red leather.
Yeah, and something that I want to point out here, so a difference between this and Midjourney, because a lot of us are really familiar with Midjourney. You'll give it a text prompt and it gives you an image, a 2D image, which is beautiful and it's great, but for 3D modeling, you need more than just that. So I can't just take a kind of a picture of a red leather and put it onto my 3D model. I have to make it react to light and make it have the properties of a real material, or else it's going to look pretty flat on my 3D model. So I just want to explain that process a little bit, because oftentimes it just kind of looks like we draped a 2D image over top of a cube. But what you'll see here, for example, is different properties of that PBR material that I'm able to manipulate on the spot. So on top of that 2D image, we're layering up different properties. A property example could be like metallic. So if your leather is metallic, it'll have a metallic map that you can adjust in real time using these knobs. If you have roughness, I'll actually show you this right here because it's really easy to see. You'll see kind of all of a sudden I decreased roughness and my material is a lot shinier as I kind of move it through the light here. So these are the layers that make up that PBR texture, which gives it that photorealistic effect. And it's not just, again, creating that 2D image anymore. The reason I really want to bring this up and stress that is because there's not a lot of competitors in the market that are making PBR materials. And if you compare kind of the process of making a PBR using AI versus doing this manually, it's quite a massive difference in time. So we're talking seconds versus hours. And this is kind of one way that Toggle is changing the industry of 3D texturing and adding these new AI first tools.
Yeah, so just back to disrupting minutes versus hours.
Right.
That's disruptive technology, right? Like, that's the difference between if you were working on an Adobe studio platform, it would take you hours. Here it's just minutes. And, that translates into increased productivity. And ultimately, this is a SaaS platform. Everybody that comes on this platform is looking for productivity for, $29 a month. they get all this latest and greatest AI features, which there's some wood now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then so you would just apply this to the couch, is that correct?
Yes, let me just make one more
Sure.
fat kind of material here so we can put together the red leather and then the wooden sort of finish on top of the couch as well and get a finished product. So I showed you text prompt to PBR
Right.
material, but I also want to show you image to PBR material because sometimes you want to create from scratch, but sometimes you already have sort of the materials that are pre-picked, or you're a manufacturer and you have partners with your vendors, and those
Right.
vendors have very specific examples of fabrics or wood samples that you can use for your product. And this is kind of a really popular use case we're seeing among sort of product designers on Toggle 3D today. They're a manufacturer and they have vendors. So I do want to show this use case here because, again, this is the 2D image. So we're just taking the swatch that I just uploaded, which is a JPG you see right here. I'm putting it on the cube, and I'm letting the algorithm know it's a wood. The algorithm then suggests finishes for me, which are ultimately those PBR maps that we've been talking about that will make this wood look more photorealistic. So we really narrowed it down to 4 main finishes for wood. I go ahead and press generate. Again, we're creating these PBR maps in the background. You see they instantly get applied to my cube here. And then again, I have these properties that I'm able to adjust. If I want it to be more glossy, sort of less glossy, I can go ahead and actually change the color of it as well to match my swatch here a little bit better after the PBR maps were applied. And then I go ahead and I save it to my library. So once I've generated these materials, whether I'm starting from an image or from a text, I can go back to my 3D model in that case. I'll go back to this couch. And we'll see that I'm able to apply these materials now that are going to be saved in my material collection. So I'll go ahead and apply the red leather to my couch. Yeah. And then I'll go ahead and also apply the wood to my couch.
Whoa, look at that.
So now so you're applying both of them there. Now I'm curious, as you go ahead and add these to your library as a user, as an individual, does it add to the library for other users to go ahead and access as well?
No, not yet. So right now, this is all proprietary because we are dealing with manufacturers and product designers. And because CAD files are proprietary, everybody has their own library. However, there's definitely a side of Toggle, and we'll see it kind of come to fruition in the next few months here, where we're going to be building a community of users where they can share and make these different materials, these different scenes, and kind of really take that power of community to spread word of mouth and get people engaged among the platform.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And you know what else? Dasha and I were talking a little earlier about the roadmap, and before the end of this year, there'll be a whole photography studio. So imagine, you have this couch that you've just created, and you want to take photos and use that for your website. You'll be able to do that on the platform. Just think about all the time and money you save not having to hire a photographer.
Right.
You can't really fit this couch in a light box. So right. So you'd have to hire somebody, and look at how shiny that is. Now, what is this 1K, 2K right now, Dasha?
This is 1K. So right now we're generating at 1K, but we have a lot of upgrades that are coming actually next week that will be able to generate these PBR materials in 4K as well. And then that's when we go from prototyping with these different materials to actually being, a 4K photorealistic kind of representation of these materials.
Yeah, 4K is the holy grail. I mean, if you want to have realism, you need the 4K. So this is just like, again, for visual representation on the platform. But then when you export it as a 4K photorealistic model. But I mean, this is ridiculously cool. If I go back in time a couple of years and I start thinking about how much time we used to spend on creating these 3D models and then texturing them. Texturing oftentimes is more complicated than, the 3D model itself. Just creating all these textures and wrapping it around every single piece of, the couch, the front, the back, the chairs, and then again, the legs. I mean, if you just think about all the variations of everything that's in your house,
Yeah.
right, and being able to just, do that point and click on this platform, it's super exciting for us.
It's interesting that we're doing this because I had a friend come over the other day and she told me that I could really use an interior designer because I'm like a minimalist. Like I don't really have a lot of things. I don't have a carpet under my living room space or whatever. So I might have to be a user after this. So it's interesting to me on this. And then I assume the process from here is for the individual to just go ahead and kind of have these text files and send it to their manufacturers or whoever they're working with, and then go ahead and just have it made. I don't want to say printed, but have it made. Is that the process?
Yeah, let's actually talk about a few use cases here because there's a couple things that you can do. So now that you have kind of a 3D model that you like, there's a couple different, even in this process of creating this 3D model on the platform, what we've been hearing a lot is one of the hardest things about sort of finishing off a product is working with, let's say, your end consumer to come up with a design that you both like, and then sort of agree on that design, you price it, you manufacture it, and then you sort of have this kind of couch ready to go, because a lot of what we're hearing from manufacturers is that people like customizations. They want to be able to personalize their items, and offering that experience in 3D with your customer is a lot more powerful than trying to customize a couch, let's say in 2D. So that's kind of what one use case is. Right on the platform, you kind of make these design decisions together. But then we also have it where the same asset could be used on your e-commerce site or for your marketing assets.
Yeah.
Or even kind of more so now, we're hearing the use case of VR. So a lot of people are now staging environments and staging games with these 3D models in a virtual reality scene.
Yeah.
So people are exporting it for that. We also have augmented reality that come with all of these objects as well. So if you're trying to envision what this couch now looks in your space,
Yeah.
the end consumer, or you just want to kind of be able to, as a designer, assess this kind of couch in the physical world, with the physical items around it, you have that experience in AR as well. So
there's a share button right there. You could
On
share,
top right, yeah.
Yeah, you could literally share a link right now with whoever. I don't know if you want to give us your email. And
Me? I can do that. No problem. It's my name at Zunaid at benzinga.com. Easy enough.
Yeah. So we can literally send it to you. But we also we're starting to do more integrations in it, where I don't know if you've heard of Sketchfab, but they were acquired by Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite, I think. And so those guys have like a community of 10 million 3D artists, and they have I think 5 million actually 3D models on their platform, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Toggle she's got it up on screen. There it is. So look at the screen, upper right-hand corner, you'll see Sketchfab. Okay, she's in a Sketchfab account. We could pull the Sketchfab 3D models into the Toggle studio and change the texture on any of these models. So think about what I'm saying. You have one model that all of a sudden turns into many models.
Right.
So, right, because you could change the color, the texture, the look. So she just brought in this this model from Sketchfab. And what's so cool about it is, you notice how she just puts the cursor over the different parts and it lights up. It comes in parts.
Right.
Right. So you can texture the hood, the window, the door, the tires, all different. It's very, very customizable.
Is there a way that you would be able to possibly, and again, I'm just thinking out loud here, use cases. Is this how you would be able to transform it into a file that could then be kind of like 3D printed, or is that something that's in the works as well, or what are we looking at there?
Yeah, so 3D printing file is a format called STL, and we actually recently did add support for it. And so
Awesome.
now any of these things you can also export in STL and then use as part of 3D.
See, Evan, your team's killing it. Look at
I
that.
didn't even know this amazing work, Dasha. I'm like, no. I think
Well,
I
'cause that's the first thing I thought of is when I see these cars and when I see like these, immediately when I saw that, I thought of like a toy for, my nephew or my niece. And so that's why I'd asked that question. But that's incredibly cool.
That is cool, right? So you could basically design your 3D printable
Right.
object in Toggle and then just export into a 3D printer and boom, you got that's very cool. I didn't know we could do That's
Well,
awesome.
there you go. Hey, learn new things every day. And that is definitely going to be another use case. I had a couple of more questions before we did wrap up, but I definitely don't want to interrupt the demo. Was there anything else y'all wanted to show us?
Well, I just would also say that, it goes beyond, and this is something you only find out when you get into the business, but we're finding, like builders and landscape designers that are actually using the platform beyond what maybe we had in mind, where, they're using it. I mean, you could think about a kitchen and you could do kitchen countertops. You could do your kitchen cabinets, right? All those things that go into, home renovations can also be used on the platform. And we're creating templates so that you can have, let's say, a template of an island in a kitchen, and you're just changing, the granite to whatever granite you want it to be. Or,
Right.
So there's just so many use cases for this. And we're kind of beyond excited with where this is headed. It's still just the first inning. We're just getting this launch. We just launched in I think we went public in June. Stock went as high as like $4.50. It's trading now at like a 90% discount. It's trading at like 50 cents or 75 cents Canadian.
Right.
And, the stock is really not reflecting all this great potential. And if you think about, all these people that are signing up, maybe one day they become shareholders.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if if they like what they see the use case of it, and they kind of see the market share that y'all can take. But Evan, a question for you from the chat that I told them I would ask: are you able to talk about the financial health of your company and give us a little insight in terms of revenue and where you stand there?
Yeah, we raised a little over $2 million, just self-funded, just self-financed. This in June, so we're cashed up. We just hired. So the first phase, we're doing this in phases, was build the product in beta. So we spent like 6-7 months in beta with Dasha, really working with the users to create a product market fit. So that was like the first 6 months of the year. Then we, raised a couple of million, went public. Then we spent time getting signups. And it's a freemium model, so you basically get some features for free, and then you move up to the paid. So our goal was just to get people on the free for the first couple of months, and we're now pivoting. So we announced over 10,000 people have signed up. That we've seen like 300% growth in the number of signups. We haven't released financials yet. But again, this is phased. So, and this is purpose. We're doing this on purpose, right? Because the last thing you want to do is get people onto a platform, get them paying, and then stuff's not working the way they want it to. So we spend a lot of time working with our user base to make sure that it fits their needs. And so we've recently hired a marketing director from Amazon. And so, she's a blue chip hire, and she's now brought her team together. And so the goal now is to start to drive more people onto the platform and focus on revenue and converting them. So, in Q4, I mean, we're almost done with Q3. We are going to start to see a significant increase in the signups and also in revenue. And this is all by design, Sinead. This is like,
Yeah.
we've mapped it out. So, we feel like we're in a great position. The fact that we're getting 500-600 people a day onto the platform, I mean, that is a testament to the demand that's in the market. That's with limited to no marketing. That's, again,
Yeah.
you didn't hear of us before today. I mean,
Yeah.
other than last
Yeah,
time.
our last conversation. Yeah. No, but you're right though, because I didn't know this technology kind of existed, especially with the 3D aspect of it, as I mentioned, as well. So no question about that. I did want to go ahead and give a final floor to y'all. Dasha, we can start with you if you had anything to add, Evan, and we'll end it with you. So
Sure.
Dasha, it's all yours.
Awesome. So kind of out in the product perspective, I'm super excited for where we're currently at, but also the things that we have on the roadmap that, maybe we'll get a chance to also share. You'll definitely hear more about it. The team is doing an amazing job. We're seeing a lot of testament from our users, and we are really building this as a user first platform, listening to all the feedback and making sure that we are hitting these pain points in the market that we're told by our current users they're not being solved right now. So we're very excited, and I'm excited to show you all what's to come.
Yeah, looking forward to that roadmap that you talked about in the near future as well. Evan, what about you?
Yeah, I would just say that Toggle's goal is to become a key player in this first generation of AI first platforms.
Right.
And if you look at AI, Toggle's running towards it, and you need to run, because if you don't run towards AI, you will be left in the dust. You will be left behind. So, this platform is geared towards, this whole AI revolution. And if you look at NVIDIA, which, is the world's most valuable listed semiconductor company, right? That everybody,
Right.
all of a sudden like exploded onto the scene.
Yeah.
They're the major supplier of computer chips. We use their chips, and our goal is to be the major supplier of software for the 3D modeling industry.
Well, hey, I definitely look forward to that journey. I look forward to more conversations with you. Evan, Dasha, thank you so much for hanging out with us here today.
Thank you, Sinead.
Absolutely. And for you in the chat, we appreciate you for joining us for the conversation as well. And definitely go ahead and check out the website. Again, it's a freemium, service. So you can absolutely go ahead and see what works for you and kind of test it out. To me, I love the, interior design thing. And I was serious. I did have someone tell me I need to spice up my look at my plays, but for me, it's the 3D aspect of it, is how you can go ahead and create something visually and then have it printed and modified, whether you're looking at sell it or use something in that service type of field. But nonetheless, we appreciate you for hanging out. Thank you to Evan and Dasha for joining us. That was Toggle 3D AI. Ticker is TGGLF. And thank you for watching All Access.